Welcome to this beginner yoga routine. This is a full body practice working towards building core strength and improving your back flexibility. In today's practice, you may need a couple of props to assist you, so I recommend having a blanket or a towel to pad your knees and a yoga strap, or if you don't have one of those, a sock, a long, stretchy one is best. When you're ready, we'll begin seated. Find a comfortable seat. It could be cross-legged or any other way that you like. Rest your hands on your knees. Focus your gaze on one spot. And we'll take the first few moments just to breathe and tune in with the body so that we can be more present for this practice. As you breathe here, sit up tall and try to bring your awareness to your spine. Notice if you're slouching or rounding. Can you lift the ribs away from the hips to sit up taller? Or notice if you're arching the back. Maybe you're flaring out the ribs and rolling the shoulders back. Instead, could you draw the ribs in to bring your spine into more of a neutral position? And having this awareness of the spine will be the theme for today's practice. So it's good to start now in a seated position. Take a final deep breath in here. Exhale out. Good. Then extend the legs, just bending them in front of you. Have the hands at the backs of the knees to begin with. Then start by sitting back until you feel that tipping point where you need to lift the legs to come into boat. Try to maintain that neutral spine. Shoulders are relaxed here. And if you like, you could reach your arms forward. Focus on keeping the lower ribs drawing in. Lower belly is drawing in. And you can use your fingertips on the mat for this. Take a deep breath in position. Lift your knees up and lift your chest towards your thighs. As you exhale, extend the legs and slowly lower down. And you can walk your hands with you just to give you some assistance as you get used to this. And we come down to lower boat. So the lower back is on the mat, the upper back is lifting. Hold for a breath in. Exhale out. With your next inhale, lift up into our high boat. You can use your fingertips for this, it's okay. Pause for a breath here. The chest is close to the thighs here, so it's a little bit higher than our previous boat. As you exhale, extend the legs and lower back down to your low boat. Again, you could use your hands if you need. Pause for a breath in and out. Inhale, lift up. You can use a little bit of momentum, bringing the thighs close to the chest, lifting the knees up high. Pause for a breath in. Exhale out. Straighten the legs. Lower down. Try to keep your upper back off the mat. The lower back will come down to the mat. Pause for a breath in. Exhale out. Last time. Inhale, lift. Bending the knees, coming up to your high boat. Pausing here. Exhale, straighten the legs and lower down slowly. Pause in your low boat for one more breath in. With your breath out, bend the knees, lower the feet, relax the upper back down to the mat. And hopefully you're starting to feel that the abdominals are awake now. You want to be able to just about reach the heels with the fingertips as we set up for bridge. Then press the feet into the mat. Start by tucking your tailbone, squeezing your glutes, and lifting the hips to come to bridge. For this bridge, you can have your arms relaxed by your side, or you could roll the shoulders under the upper back to help you to lift the chest. Pause and hold here. Then notice if the knees are starting to open out to the side and you're losing stability, draw your knees in so they stay over the ankles. Deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Hold for one more breath in. As you exhale, we'll slowly roll down the spine. Take a moment to relax. Edge your feet further away from you. Then just like before, press through your heels, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes as you lift the hips. And for this bridge, you may start to feel it more down the back of your thighs as this one focuses more on the hamstrings. You have the option to keep the feet flat to the mat, or you could flex the feet so you're lifting the toes, lifting the balls of the feet so you're just on your heels here. Focus on digging the heels into the mat. Lift the hips a little bit higher and we'll hold. One more breath in and out. Roll down the back and rest here. Good. Slowly hug your knees into your chest and start to rock forward and back. Just slowly building some momentum until you come up into a seated position. Swing your legs around and find tabletop. Padding the knees if you need some cushioning. Spread your fingers wide, grip the mat with your fingertips, and start to move through a figure of 8 to warm up the wrists. And as you do this, bring your awareness to your spine. See if you can really focus on snaking the spine here. Come back through center, stacking shoulders over wrists. Then tuck your toes, lift your hips, and slowly push back to downward dog. Press through your hands, lift your hips as high as you can. Look to your big toes. Pausing in downward dog for a breath in. With your breath out, lower the knees back down to find tabletop. Inhale in tabletop. Exhale, push back to find downward dog. Inhale in downward dog. Exhale, lower down for tabletop. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, push back to downward dog. Pausing here for the next 5 breaths. If you like, you could pedal out the legs. Or just stay in stillness, focusing on pressing through the hands and the feet. Lower the knees back down to tabletop. Extend the left leg, keep the toes on the mat. Then stack left hip over right, turning your torso and your hips open. Reach the left arm up to find a modified side plank. If you prefer for balance, you could make a kickstand with the right leg, opening it out, as I find that can be a lot easier for the balance. Then focus on pushing the floor away. Inhale here. Exhale and reach the left arm overhead, bringing the upper arm toward your ear. Then turn your chest open as you inhale. So bringing your awareness to those micro movements in the spine as we gradually open up. Hold for a deep breath in. Exhale out. Then come back to tabletop. Extend the right leg, keeping the toes on the mat. And stack right hip over left. Turn your body open, reach the right arm up. If you prefer, you can make a kickstand with the left leg for better balance. And focus on pressing through the left hand so you're not sinking into the shoulder. Keeping the chest open here. Inhale. As you exhale, reach right arm overhead so the upper arm comes toward the ear. And with your inhale, spiral the chest open. Gaze up to the ceiling or the sky. Pause for a deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. Then come back to tabletop. Keep your hips stacked over your knees. Walk your hands forward and sink the chest down for puppy pose. As you sink the chest down, think of arching your back just like we do in cow pose. And when you're lowering down, you can either rest the forehead or the chin on the mat. Try to find stillness and deepen your breath as this can start to feel quite extreme for the upper back. Hold for one more breath in. With your breath out, ripple forward. Come and lie down on your belly. Coming into Sphinx pose, bringing the forearms down to the mat. And press through the forearms, roll your shoulders back. And this time, see if you can drag your chest forward. So you may start to feel some engagement in the chest as we engage the pectoral muscles. And as you roll the shoulders back and squeeze the shoulder blades together, you may start to feel some engagement in the upper back, in the rhomboids, maybe even a little bit in the trapezius muscles. Continue to draw the chest forward, just seeing where you can feel engagement in your body. Hold for one more breath in. Exhale out. Good. Then bring the left forearm in front of your chest. Bend the right leg. And the right hand will reach back to catch your foot. If the foot isn't quite within reach, you can use a sock or a strap and loop it round the foot to make it easier to hold onto. Then start to draw the foot in toward you. As you draw the foot in toward you, it may be easier to hold onto the foot. This may be as far as you take it. If there's room to take it a bit further, draw your elbow up and spin your hand so the fingers point forward. And you can press the heel of the hand into the top of the foot to help draw the foot closer toward you. And you should start to feel a pull along the front of the thigh, maybe even along the front of the right side of the hip. Deepen the breath as you hold here. Take one more breath in. Exhale out. And release the right leg back down. Then bring the right forearm in front of the chest for support. Left arm will reach back to catch your foot. Again, if it's not quite within reach, loop your sock or your strap around the foot like so to make it easier to draw it in closer to you. Once it's closer, it may be easier to hold on to. You could either just stay here or lift the elbow up, spin the fingers to face forward, press the heel of the hand into the top of the foot. And as you do this, you'll probably start to feel a pull along the front of your thigh and the left side of the hip. Pause here, deepen your breath. Holding for one more breath in. Exhale out. And release the left leg. Last part of this, come back to your Sphinx, so forearms are parallel. Tuck your toes, and then bend your knees to draw your heels as close to your bum as you can. You'll probably start to feel the backs of the thighs, the hamstrings are engaging here. It's okay if they start to cramp, just lower the legs back down, maybe give them a little bit of a shake. But as best you can, try to hold here, keeping the chest lifted, drawing the heels close to the back of the body. Two more deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Last breath in. Exhale out and release the legs. Give them a little bit of a shake if they feel tired. Then come up into tabletop. Extend and lift the right leg. When you feel steady, extend and lift the left arm. Then start to arch your back and lift the arm and the leg a little bit higher. So we're sinking the belly down as we reach the arm and leg up. This may be as far as you'd like to take it. If so, stay here. If you'd like to go further, the left arm will reach back as the right leg bends, and you're seeing if you can reach for your foot. Again, you could use your strap here, looping it around the foot to make it easier to hold onto. Can be a little awkward to get into, but take your time. If you can hold onto the foot, then focus on pressing the foot against your hand, lifting the leg up as high as you can, and we come into tiger pose. Focus the gaze ahead of you to help with the balance. Steady your breath. Hold for one more inhale. Exhale and slowly release. Then we'll take a couple of barrel rolls to reset. So round the back, roll to your right, and then dip the belly and roll to your left. Round and roll to the right, dip to the left. A few more times going right to left. And then we'll go left to right. And come back through to tabletop. Then extend and lift the left leg. When you feel balanced, reach the right arm forward. Then start to dip your belly down, lift the arm and leg. So we're coming into a back bend here. This may be as far as you'd like to take it. If so, stay here. If you'd like to explore a little bit more, bend the left leg, reach the right arm back. And you're seeing if you can reach to catch hold of your foot. If you're needing some assistance, loop your strap or your sock around the foot to make it easier. Then press the foot against your sock or your hand if you're there, so that you can lift the leg a little bit higher. Gaze ahead of you and pause here. Keep pressing through the left hand so you're not sinking into the shoulder. Last breath in. Exhale out and release. Good. Turn around and lie down on your back. And bend the knees, bring the feet close to the back of your hips. And we'll set up again for bridge. So pressing through the heels, squeezing the glutes, lift the hips. Keeping the knees over the ankles, pressing the upper back into the mat. See if you can lift your chest. Deepen your breath as we hold. 3 more breaths here. Final inhale. With your exhale, roll down from the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, down. Then place your hands on top of your thighs, and you want the heel of the hands in the crease of your hips. Then you'll push your hands into your thighs like you're pushing your legs away from you. You may start to feel a lengthening sensation in the lower back as we decompress the lower back here. So keep pushing the hands into the legs, deepen your breath. Hold for 1 more breath in. Exhale out. Good. Relax your arms by your side. Edge your feet as wide as the mat. Knock your knees in so we come to constructive rest. And we'll pause here, just really slowing down the breath, letting the body know that now is the time to relax and rest. You have the option to stay in constructive rest, or you could extend the legs to come into Shavasana, our final posture for this practice. Bring awareness back to your body as you start to deepen your breath. And with your next breath in, reach the arms overhead and find a full body stretch. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest and slowly roll onto your side. Join me back in a seated position when you're ready. Sitting up tall, finishing this practice by taking a deep breath in through the nose and an audible breath out through the mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you so much for your time and energy in today's practice. I really appreciate you joining me. And I hope that even though some of the poses can be incredibly humbling, you are still finding small moments where you're noticing just how capable you are with a little bit of time and a little bit of practice. So thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow.